Hello and welcome everyone, and thank you for joining this session. I'm Devesh Lathi from the Next Genius Foundation, and today we have Professor Phan from Beloit College, which is a Next Genius partner college, and she's going to help us learn about data science, data analytics, and to learn about what the major is going to look like, about the jobs and the future of this major. A very warm welcome to you, Professor Phan.
Thank you.
Before we get going, let me introduce Professor Phan. She is the Associate Professor of Economics, Neese Chair and Director of Upton Program, and the Co-Chair of Data Science and Analytics Program at Beloit College. Professor Phan teaches a variety of economics and business courses and has mentored many students in the pursuit of careers in business, be it marketing, consulting, finance, or accounting. Coming from an entrepreneurial background, she enjoys mentoring students who want to start their own businesses. That's very interesting. Professor Phan's international and multicultural background has brought global perspective into her teaching and advising, making her popular amongst international students and domestic students with international interests. Recently, she worked with faculty in many departments to create interdisciplinary data analytics and science program, and is currently its co-chair. Originally from Hanoi, Vietnam, Professor Phan has been living in the US for more than 20 years, and she currently lives in Beloit with her husband and two adorable children. Though Beloit is a small town, she loves it here and likes its sense of community. Professor Phan received her PhD in development economics from University of Wisconsin-Madison in 2008 and started teaching at Beloit in 2009. A very warm welcome to you, Professor Phan. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm looking forward to learning more about data science.
Thank you, Devesh, for the very excellent and detailed introduction.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And let's get going. So my question number one to you is, what is data science and how is it structured academically?
Yes, okay. So I did prepare a presentation. So if you don't mind, just a few slides that help me explain the points better. So I'm sharing screen right now.
Yes.
And okay, so in recent years, in my teaching and advising students at Beloit, sorry, my father was calling. Okay, so the field of data science and analytics have become very popular in recent years. A lot of students are interested in and exploring this field for a good reason. It is an exciting new field that is rapidly evolving and expanding. So the job outlook is very good. If you can just do a simple Google search and you can find a lot of data and statistics and articles writing about this field. The salary is good, the job growth is high, and in many ranking is listed as #1 or among the top jobs in America. Okay, but what exactly is data science? There are actually many ways to define it, but I'm just going to use a very simple definition, which is that it is the study and use of data to inform business decisions. Now, but here's the interesting thing. The study and use of data to inform business decisions, that has been around forever. We've been doing that forever. So it's not new. And yet data science is a pretty new field. I would say that is no more than 10 years old. Okay, that is because even though the study and use of data to inform business decisions has been around forever, the tools that we now use and the amount of data that we now have is way more than before. As a result, it's considered a new field. It's still developing and it is still taking shape. But personally, I like to define data science as a process. It is a multi-step process like this. So I'm helping you visualize the process. You start with data engineering. So you have to create a database or a data warehouse to store, to organize, and to manage the data. And then you have to retrieve them from the database. You have to clean and prepare them for use. That is data processing. And let me tell you, if you do become a data scientist one day, you will learn that data processing is actually the majority of time that you have to spend. And then finally, when you have cleaned and prepared your data, yes, finally, now you get to do the fun stuff, right? The data analytics part. So you can do descriptive, prescriptive, or predictive analytics. Descriptive means you just describe the data. Prescriptive means you need to explain the data. So now that you have described the trends, what's explaining the trend? But the most challenging part is predictive analytics, which is, okay, so you understand the trend, why it's happening. Now, can you use the past trend to predict future behavior of consumers, of industry trend, and so on? So that is very challenging, but also the most exciting part. Now, other things that are involved in the job of the data scientist would be to design and run experiments. You may have to do statistical modeling, and with the huge amount of data that we now have, you have to use big data techniques such as machine learning or data mining. Okay. Now, after you are done analyzing your data, now what? Well, you have to communicate the results. So now you move on to the step of data communication. You have to visualize data because our human brain can understand graphs much better and faster. And then you have to know how to story tell with your data, right? Or to tell a story with your data and to be convincing. But of all these steps, the very last step, decision making, is actually the most difficult, because when it comes to decision making, things are gray. It's not black or white. It's very non-straightforward. You cannot code it. You have to incorporate ethics and humanities to make data-informed decisions and then take action. So I think that is actually the most challenging step. Okay. Now, depending on, I would say a true data scientist would be very well versed in every step. But in reality, these steps require skills and knowledge that come from so many different disciplines. It's rare to have a true data scientist that can do everything so well in this entire process. As a result, we usually see data scientists kind of choose to specialize in one step, one or two, and not the other. Okay. Now that also explains why in recent years, increasingly, I think employers or businesses, they no longer use data science or data scientists when they post job ads, because it's too confusing. It's similar to, no one say, I'm looking for an engineer. You have to say, I'm looking for a chemical engineer, biomedical engineer, right? Because the different kind of engineering is different. The same thing, if you say, I'm looking for a data scientist, that's too vague, right? Because, well, do you mean you need a data engineer or a data architect who's gonna help you build a database? Or do you mean you need a data storyteller or a data visualization engineer? So you see, so increasingly, if you read the job ads, things are now becoming specialized, okay? That said, as an academic discipline, the name data science is going to stick because it encompasses this entire process, okay? Yes.
Fantastic. That was wonderful. And I myself enjoy, dealing with data. And I totally understand why data processing takes a lot of time. You need to standardize the data. You need to remove the outliers and sort of get the data in a very standard format, which can be analyzed. And yes, I think decision making is the most crucial. It is the end thing. Right? It's the final thing which finally helps making the decisions. Fantastic. So with that, let me move on to the next question, which is, who should pursue data science? What are the traits or sort of skills that are required in a student to be successful as a data scientist?
Well, so if you are someone who loves to solve problems, good. But more than that, you want to solve, or you love to solve problems using numbers. You love to solve problems using an analytical approach, okay? That means that you are a suitable candidate to pursue this career, okay? So, oops, let me go. So in order to in order to enjoy this field, you need to learn to solve problems using numbers and an analytical approach. It also means that you need to have an analytical and logical mindset and an affinity for numbers and coding. So if you just like to look at numbers and just want to discover, oh, what are these numbers telling me? And how can I use that to solve a real world problem? So the data process is very time consuming, it's very difficult, right? But when you finally get to that stage, yes, finally, I understand these numbers, what it's trying to tell me, you have this feeling of, yes, I achieve it, right? So if you are that kind of person, then this is the field for you, okay? Yes.
Okay, perfect. And with that, what is the curriculum like? What is the curriculum for a data science program? What a data science major look like?
Yes. So a few years ago, I worked with a number of faculty across many different disciplines and departments at Beloit to create a data science and analytics program. What I can tell you is how we do it at Beloit, but I will also make a few comments about what makes it different from other data science and analytics program elsewhere, okay? Now, if you browse the website of many colleges and universities in America, especially the big ones, most of them now have a data science or analytics department or program, okay? Not all of them, but many of them do. But when I was browsing those websites, what was striking to me was that most of what they taught was technical skills, which is, of course, you have to learn, this is a technical field. So students have to learn and need to be trained in a lot of technical skills in order to enter and to succeed in this field. But then who create data? Human. So we create data, we process data, we analyze data. And we do all of that to serve humanity. So I found it concerning that many programs don't have any humanities in their curriculum. So when I, with the other colleagues at Beloit, created this program, we made sure that our curriculum is not just about the technical skills. Yes, you will learn about the technical skills, but you must also learn the humanities so that you can become a good data scientist. We don't just want to train proficient data scientists. We want to train good data scientists, okay? So that is what makes the curriculum in data science at Beloit different. It has a liberal arts and interdisciplinary approach to data work. So yes, you will have to take courses that teach you technical skills so you are prepared to work with data, big or small. But at the same time, we make you take courses in the humanities, in the arts, so you learn the humanistic foundation of data work, so you understand that humanities have to be at the center of technology and data. Okay. Now, another thing about the program, the data science program at Beloit, is that we have very extensive and personalized career preparation. Okay. So I talk about that later in a moment. But at Beloit, we actually offer two majors. One is a data science, which is more technical, and it's also prepare you for graduate school in data science if you would like to pursue that. And the other one, the data analytics major, it has a stronger emphasis on interdisciplinary and humanistic aspects of data work. And both of these majors requires students to choose a disciplinary specialty so that the students can apply data techniques to a particular disciplinary question. Okay. Now, so these are examples of courses that you have to take as a data analytic major. So you have to take some math and CS courses. And certainly the CS courses, you need to take data structures and algorithms or database. And then you also have to take, again, one disciplinary specialty and the senior seminar and sophomore seminar in data science. Okay. Now, the data science major is heavier. You see how there are a lot more math requirements. For one reason, this major is for those who want to go to graduate school. And when you go to graduate school, they're going to ask to see that, you show proof that you have taken these math courses. Okay. And there's also, but the number of CS courses stay the same. It's the math requirement that increases. In addition, for the data science major, we also require data mining and machine learning. So these are advanced techniques to work with big data. Okay. All right, so that's the data science and data and the disciplinary specialties, they can come from many disciplines. It can be anthropology, biology, economics, and so on. You need to take a minimum of 3 courses from one of these disciplines. And the goal is so that you learn the disciplinary knowledge and then you combine that with your data skills so that in the senior seminar, you can use the data skills to answer a particular disciplinary question of your choice. Okay. And this is an example of the courses in the humanities and the arts for the data science majors of Beloit. So data visualization, data ethics, counting, writing, seeing is a writing course. Young Mode and Technique is an English course. And there's also graphic design, visual studies, statistical approach to Latin poetry. So these are examples of courses in the humanities and the arts that a data science major should be taking to become a good data scientist. Okay.
That's fantastic. Yes. I'm just curious to learn what is the statistical approach to Latin poetry. I mean, this is we're talking about poetry and statistics, completely different.
Well, I'm not the one who teaches it, so I'm not qualified to really tell you about it, but it's basically you use data technique in order to count the number of words that have a certain meaning. I think, you can analyze poetry using statistics. Okay.
Yeah, and I think a lot of English word has Latin roots, right? So it might have something to do with, you know, something to do with that. But I think that's really interesting addition to this. Okay. So with that, let me move to the next question. That is, what are the career options that data scientists can pursue? And that can be, you know, post-graduation also, or the jobs also.
Yes. Okay. So I think earlier I said that the data science and analytics program at Beloit, first, the curriculum is unique in its liberal arts and interdisciplinary approach. But the other part is the career preparation, which is extensive and personalized. So let me talk a little bit about that. Oh, you know, so yes, for career preparation. Now, if you major in data science or data analytics, you want a good job after you graduate, right? But it's no use having a degree in it if you don't have experience working with data. Okay, so to have that experience is critical to your career success. So we build into the curriculum many opportunities for you to work with real data, so you can gain that crucial experiences. Okay, now at Beloit, many courses in the curriculum have data projects in it. There are also on-campus jobs that we intentionally design these jobs so you work with data. There's a student-run consulting firm specializing in market research, Belmark Associates, so you can also try to join this. They do real projects for real clients and make money, like real money, okay? So this is a real firm, all right? That is a good opportunity to gain consulting, but also data experience. There are also many research assistantships. You can assist professors in their empirical research projects. You can do your own independent projects under professors' mentorship. We also have this career bridge course in data analytics. It's a 3-week summer course taught by data professionals. So I reach out to the alumni who are now data scientists and I ask them to come to campus and they bring with them real data projects for students who work in the 3 weeks. And then we also have an internship program called the Diep program. Not all of the Diep internships are data related, but more and more of them are data related. So these are examples of the opportunities you can take advantage of in order to gain your data experience to prepare you for the job market. Okay. Now, we also have a very strong alumni network, even though the data science program at Beloit is new. We have been training data scientists and analysts for a long time. I already mentored many students into this career before we created the program. Okay, as a result, by now we do have a strong alumni network, and when I reach out to them, they are very enthusiastic about mentoring students, helping them with jobs and internships. Okay, For example, back in January, I organized a career panel and a professional networking event. And this is a list of the alum that I invited. But it's interesting to read their job titles, okay? Manager of data analytics at Addison Partners, which is a finance firm in the finance industry, okay? Now, Kayla Nimitz is Director of User Interface. What exactly does it mean? This is what she does. She writes code to visualize data. That's her job, okay? So you see the job titles can vary a lot, but you just kind of have to talk to them to know exactly what they do, okay? And Kelly Allen, data scientist. So her job title is data scientist. So she helped Humana, which is a health insurance company in the US, very large one. She helped them leverage and use data in order to improve diversity and inclusion in the firm and the way they deal with customers. So it's a very social oriented kind of task, okay? But it's all about using data to do that. So her job title is senior data scientist. So Thomas Slusher, he's at Catalytics, which is a consulting firm, but he's in the bank analytics division. So he's the data manager. That's kind of his job title, a bank analytics manager. Menglu Chang, her job title is operations analyst. Okay, so your job title may be operations analyst, business analyst, marketing analyst, okay? But that's all data science and analytics, okay? And finally, well, Yang has a traditional job title, data scientist. He went on to have a PhD in statistics. Okay? So of these, Yang has a PhD in statistics, but the rest of them, none of them have even master's degree. So Holy Pham, Brandy Bills, they only got bachelor degree from Beloit, and they did not even have a bachelor degree in data science. Remember, data science is too new a field. So when they graduated, they had some other majors, but they learned the skills that they needed. And now they become data scientists or data analysts. Okay. Yes.
Fantastic. That's absolutely wonderful to know. You learn data science, but there is a wide range of things that you do. Right, like I can just imagine what Menglu Chang would be doing at American Airlines is like maybe trying to increase the efficiency of their network, right? That's what operations mean, right?
Yes, exactly. She uses data to help them improve efficiency of their operations. So it's called operations analyst, but it's data work.
Fantastic, superb. So with that, we come to our final question. That is, how do you see data science evolve? What are the future trends that you see in this field of data science and analytics? Data science itself is a very new field. It's an evolving field. And I'm sure it's lots of new things, new technologies are coming up in this.
Yes, so too many things are happening, but I will just say this. Now, what is the future of data science jobs? On the one hand, because we are in a digital age, more and more data are collected and available. So businesses have a stronger and stronger need for data scientists, which means more jobs for data scientists. But on the other hand, increasingly, more and newer tools are becoming available to automate various data tasks. So many things that used to be done by data analysts or scientists are now just automated. You don't need to hire someone to do it anymore. Does that mean there will be fewer jobs for data scientists? Well, here's my take on it. Now, I think that right now, this field is experiencing high growth because you go from kind of very little demand to a lot of demand as the economy changes and transitions to this digital age economy, right? Similar to back in the 1990s, the demand for website developer. Can you imagine the demand for website developer in the 1990s? You went from most businesses don't have website to an economy where every single business has to have a website. So in that period, the demand for website developer just like bloom, right? But after some period, it stabilized, right? The same thing is happening to data science. Many firms go from having no demand for data scientists, and suddenly every single business has to have at least one data scientist. So the growth in demand is high. And after this period of high growth, maybe another 5 or 10 years, it will stabilize. But I do not think the number of jobs for data scientists will go down. Rather, the nature of data jobs will change and tasks will be refocused. The things that can be automated, we automate it, so that the tasks that are more gray, that are not straightforward, that cannot be coded, can be left to data scientists. And usually these are the tasks that require the humanities, that require the arts, right? Require ethics and judgment that cannot be coded. So increasingly, data scientists will be do those tasks. Everything else you can leave it to the machine. But given that the economy is changing very rapidly, and given that this field is exciting and changing and evolving very fast, it's important that, sure, you go to college, you attain a degree in data science, but you must always be ready to learn new things because the field is going to change. What you need to do will always change, okay? Now at Beloit, we call that intellectual and professional agility, the ability to learn new things and to shift, okay? And it is one of the 4 integrated learning outcomes of Beloit College that we need to instill in students when we train them, okay? Yes.
That's fantastic. I really enjoyed this conversation with you, learning about data science, learning about what all different concentrations are within data science, how you can study different, everything within data science is, again, it's a specialization in itself, right? Data processing, taking business decisions. And it's really exciting to see how this field is evolving and how, new tools are coming in. And at the same time, the technology is evolving, but at the same time, the human touch is important when it comes to analyzing the data. The machines can process the data, or they can analyze the data, but the judgment about what data to look at, I think that is something only we can tell them. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Professor Phan, for your time this morning. It was a pleasure having this conversation with you. I really enjoyed learning about data science.
Thank you for inviting me. Yes.